Yeah, I think prior to that, Gabby got a really big steal, deflection
Hmm.
and steal. The slim shot was a great read by Sky to deliver it theirs, try to put Sky and Nneka in action. Um, Huge shot by Slim, and then a little bit of a mishap with our defensive scheme on that end, but we've been in a lot of these situations as of late, and maybe haven't had a timeout or have had to be on a defensive end of that. But to have an opportunity finally to have the time on the clock and give it to our best player to make a play, it feels great, and it feels like the the dividends that are paying off with the reps that we've gotten with a lot of these tight games. But yeah, those are really big plays by some really great players down the stretch, and they're very poised and confident. No one ever wavered with how they felt, and so it was good to see that ball go through and get out of here with a victory.
Hey, Coach Rob Knox from the Next. That was a fun one. Nneka was there. She mentioned the final play for, Sky to get downhill and make a decision one way or the other
Hmm.
as far as her going to the basket.
Hmm.
As a coach, how cool and comfortable is it to know that you have somebody like Sky and Nneka, obviously veterans,
Hmm.
to be able to translate in a game like that to make the correct read.
Yeah, I mean, they're two of the best to, have ever played in the W and in our game in general. And, to have an opportunity to even be in a position to, you know, help us win in that area in that way. I have full amount of trust and confidence in both of them. From point guard position to the post position, they've seen a lot of games, been in a lot of games, and you just trust their judgment and play calling in that way. And those two, it's the first time they're playing together this many games for this long, and they feed off of one another. And for me, it's not kind of over coaching it, but allowing the great players to be themselves, and that's what you see night in and night out.
And then, secondly, obviously, you had a lot of players have great efforts tonight. Obviously, with this being Slim's home, quote unquote homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like about her game today? What did you see on her on today?
Yeah, I had her on Sony most of the game. And so, her physicality, her wherewithal, to defense, to play defense and to stay in plays and make it difficult. Slim has helped our pace a lot. So in transition, getting downhill, and I don't know, something about her having a storm jersey, not getting to the free throw line hasn't been her MO. She's been doing that well, but her ability to get downhill, play make, and as you can see down the stretch, in both of these games, most recently making big shots. So she fits in. She's communicative. She's giving us a lot of energy and a lot of lift. And for her tonight, I know is always cool to come back to the place that you call home for playing here for a while. I thought that the crowd embraced her, and I thought she played really hard.
All right, Bella, go ahead.
Hey coach, just 30 points from Shakira Austin tonight. She was 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Just what made her a difficult matchup today, in particular?
30 points from that Ogwumike too, huh? Uh, Shakira is very, athletic. She's strong. She's confident, and right now she's playing with just a lot of moxie. Think, seeing her develop over the years, she in the paint, like showing her handle. The free throws were impressive to me. I'm not sure, previous seasons or historically, if she's this good of a free throw shooter, but her ability to kind of get to the line and finish those and ones. She's a difficult matchup because of her versatility, her size, her shot blocking ability, even defensively. So she was a load for us in that way. But at the end of the day, I think it's just a young player just growing into this league, and she's got some years under her belt, and you see the growth and development.
Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, coach, there was a lot of great offense early, especially early on in the game. And then there were some kind of down moments, some isolation, some 24-second shot clock violations, things like that. Just kind of talk to me about what you did really like and some of the teaching points.
Yeah, I think we missed a lot of layups. So if you think, Dom had about 5 of those that I feel like, usually are, finish. Slim has some bunnies. Gabby has some bunnies. So I'll start there. Like we want to continue to get the looks and continue to get the layups, but we have to finish. And then in the possessions, the longer possessions, the Mystics started, showing a little bit higher on their ball screens, trapping a little bit more. And what we wanted to find, some possessions we weren't really executing that. And I don't think that we were trying to, the ball was trying to stick, but they impacted the ball and compacted the paint. And so some of our reads weren't as clear as from before when we were kind of playing inflow and transition. So, yeah, we got to get rid of those sticky possessions in which that ball is sticking. But if we can continue to get the layups and the looks in the paint, we just have to be more efficient and finish those.
All right, Andrew, go ahead for one question.
Thanks a lot as always, Coach. Congrats on the win. When you see Nneka with a career high 6 3-pointers made, add that as a firm force in her already major offensive arsenal. You feel that has your team reached a offensive zenith or high point that makes y'all really go back to being an elite team?
Yeah, I think, the 3-point line is going to be important for us now moving forward. And, Nneka's been so consistent from there. And when your bigs can shoot threes, it makes your team very potent in this league. And, it's, we're going to need, our E to hit a couple, Sky to hit a couple, Gab to hit 1 or 2. And I think, if we can live in that, I think that gives us some variety and versatility to our offense. Nneka's been amazing all season, playing at a MVP caliber level. And, from game to game, I think last game maybe didn't hit a 3 or maybe, it wasn't as efficient. And she comes tonight and today and does Nneka things. I think that, if we continue to play in transition and get the easy ones accompanied with shooting efficiently from the 3, not just taking them, but making them, I think it helps our offense. I think it helps our offense a ton.
Thanks.
All right, we have one more question. Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Just a quick question about the front court rotation. In the last 10 games, Ezzy has the fewest clutch minutes of any starter. Dom has edged her there. And then in the last 2 games, Dom has played more minutes than Ezzy. I'm just kind of wondering, is there something that you're seeing from Dom down the stretch that you're not seeing from Ezzy that's kind of suits your rotation and later in the game, or what goes to that?
I think game by game, when Dom is giving us the paint presence offensively, I think it's helpful because it allows us to have pressure at the rim and Nneka to space. When Dom and Ezzy are on the floor, we got some defense and still some pressure on the rim. And just kind of trying to win the game and whatever the game lends. Ezzy, if there's a defensive possession and stop, that's our anchor. So she's going to be on the floor for that. And if we need kind of an offensive, pressure at the rim, Dom has been giving us that. So